Just imagine, what would happen if our sun suddenly vanished from space forever, or maybe not forever, maybe just for 1 hour, 1 day, 1 month, or even an entire year? It sounds like the plot of a Hollywood science fiction movie, doesn't it? But if, because of some miracle or catastrophe, this actually happened, then how would anyone describe the most terrifying event in the history of the universe? So today, let's go live on this horrifying journey. Our story begins with an event completely unknown to the people of Earth. From a distant corner of our galaxy, an ancient and highly advanced alien civilization enters our solar system. Their goal is not war, but to steal our sun. They have brought with them a gigantic machine called a Dyson sphere, a structure capable of trapping an entire star inside it. Within moments, they seal the sun inside the sphere and begin heading back toward their own solar system. But the moment the sun disappears from its place, the balance of our entire solar system collapses like a house of cards. The sun's gravity was the invisible thread holding every planet together, and now that thread has snapped. Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, and even our own Earth have drifted completely out of their orbits. Now all of these planets are wandering endlessly through the infinite darkness of space, like ships lost in an ocean without a captain. And here comes the strangest part. On the side of Earth where it is currently daytime, everything still appears completely normal. People are going to work, children are playing outside, and the sun still seems to shine brightly in the sky. Nobody has the slightest idea that the most important object in the solar system has already been stolen. That's because the sun is incredibly far away, and its light takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach Earth, which means the last image of the sun is still visible in our sky. And then, exactly 8 minutes and 20 seconds later, the game changes instantly. In a single moment, terrifying darkness swallows the Earth. Bright daylight suddenly turns into midnight. The stars in the sky become clearer than ever before because there is no longer any sunlight left to hide them. But something even stranger happens. The moon and the neighboring planets completely vanish from the sky because they have no light of their own. The very first and most horrifying effect of this darkness strikes Earth's vegetation, the plants and forests. The sunlight that plants used for photosynthesis to produce oxygen is now gone forever. Without sunlight, plants can no longer create food, and they slowly begin to die. The dense forests, often called the lungs of the Earth, are now suffocating and collapsing, causing the purity of the air itself to disappear. Panic has now spread across the entire world. Even the regions that were once experiencing daytime are trapped in endless black night. Meteorologists are completely shocked because the global temperature is dropping at a terrifying speed. However, because of the molten lava burning deep inside Earth's core, the planet still retains some internal heat. Thanks to this remaining warmth, people do not freeze instantly during the first few hours and instead struggle to understand what is happening. Since this catastrophe is far beyond human control, chaos spreads everywhere. The average global temperature has already fallen to nearly 8 degrees Celsius. Many delicate plants and animals cannot survive this sudden change and are beginning to die. Earth's entire ecosystem now stands on the edge of destruction. The only reason the planet has not yet turned completely into ice is because the oceans had absorbed enormous amounts of heat before the sun disappeared. But this leftover warmth can only protect humanity for 3 or 4 days without the sun. And now, an entire week has passed since the sun vanished. Continuous darkness still covers the Earth, and temperatures have plunged far below freezing, reaching nearly minus 20 degrees Celsius. At such temperatures, water freezes completely, and now rivers and lakes all across the world have turned into solid ice. Meanwhile, television channels, mobile networks, and the internet suddenly stop working because high-powered batteries and generators are finally failing. Scientists had never even imagined a future where Earth would survive without the sun, which means humanity never created any real backup plan for such a disaster. The power grids that once lit up the world are shutting down one after another. Electricity has completely vanished, and total blackout now covers the planet. By this point, most of Earth's plants and forests are already dead because, without sunlight and photosynthesis, they could no longer stay alive. This immediately affects the animals that survived by eating grass and leaves. Due to the deadly cold and the severe shortage of food, herbivorous animals are dying on a massive scale, destroying the entire food chain and humanity's primary food sources forever. During these first 7 days, the richest people on Earth have already built high-tech underground bunkers and survival basements for themselves. Hidden beneath the ground, they are desperately trying to survive this deadly cold in isolated safety. Governments, too, are constructing massive underground underground shelters for ordinary citizens, where limited heat and oxygen are being recycled through machines in a final attempt to keep humanity alive. Now, it no longer matters whether the clock says 10 in the morning or 2 at night, because every single moment is consumed by complete darkness. Time itself has lost all meaning for humanity. The natural cycle of day and night is gone forever, and only endless night remains. And if you look up at the sky now, you will see an entirely new and unfamiliar pattern of stars, because Earth has drifted out of the solar system and is now floating deep into space toward an unknown destination. A full month has passed without the sun, and the temperature has now fallen to nearly minus 40 degrees Celsius. If someone were to look at Earth from space at this moment, the beautiful blue and green planet would no longer exist. Instead, Earth would appear as a lifeless white sphere, a giant frozen ball abandoned in the darkness of space, while the few remaining humans on its surface struggle against the unbearable cold. With the oceans frozen and vegetation completely wiped out, the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has risen so dramatically that breathing in the open air is no longer possible. Every single breath now feels as deadly as inhaling thick cigarette smoke directly into the lungs. The trees and plants that once purified the atmosphere have themselves become victims of the freezing cold. Without gas masks, surviving even a few moments on the surface has become impossible. And yet, even within this unimaginable catastrophe, a few very special places on Earth are still holding onto life. These are the regions located near active volcanoes. Because of the geothermal heat beneath them, some bodies of water in those areas have not frozen completely. Tiny microorganisms and aquatic life forms are still fighting for survival there, taking their final breaths in the middle of nature's greatest disaster. Now an entire year has passed, and the volcanoes that once served as the last source of warmth have finally gone cold and inactive because of the unimaginable freezing temperatures. With that, even the final remaining parts of the oceans have frozen solid. The cold on Earth has crossed every possible limit, and the layer of ice covering the surface has now become as thick as mountains. Our massive modern cities, shining skyscrapers, and everything humanity once built have been buried beneath gigantic sheets of ice. Everywhere, there is only the silence of death. But even within this horrifying world, a very small population of humans is somehow still alive. The survivors have moved towards special regions near the North Pole and South Pole, where geothermal energy from Earth's core is strongest. Time continues moving forward, and now 1,000 years have passed. Humanity is standing on the edge of extinction. There are no trees left, no animals, and no real way to survive. Every food resource has been exhausted, and the amount of oxygen remaining in Earth's atmosphere has fallen close to zero. Life itself is disappearing. After 1,100 years without the sun, Earth's temperature has dropped to nearly minus 160 degrees Celsius. At this point, humanity has completely vanished. Earth is now billions of kilometers away from its former solar system, wandering through the Milky Way galaxy as a rogue planet, a lonely world drifting endlessly through space. Its former neighboring planets, like Mars and Jupiter, have also scattered billions of kilometers away from each other. At the end of this endless journey through space, Earth has now entered a mysterious and dangerous region filled with countless drifting asteroids. Without the sun's protective gravity shielding it anymore, these wandering space rocks begin getting pulled directly toward our frozen planet. And then suddenly, a gigantic asteroid comes rushing straight at Earth and collides with it with unimaginable force, destroying everything forever. And even if, somehow, this catastrophic collision never happens, Earth would still continue wandering endlessly through the infinite darkness of space for billions of years. There is also a very real possibility that one day, a powerful black hole drifting somewhere in the universe could pull Earth toward itself with its terrifying gravitational force and swallow the planet alive forever. But friends, there's absolutely no reason to feel scared or depressed after hearing this horrifying story. This is only a scientific hypothesis, an imagination based on science. In reality, our sun is not going anywhere, and it is only because of the sun that life on Earth is possible today. Without the sun, our planet is nothing. Maybe that is why, in Indian culture, the sun is worshipped almost like a god. Now let's come to the fascinating scientific fact I mentioned at the beginning of the video, that even after the sun disappears, we would still see it shining in the sky for 8 minutes. But why does that happen? The reason is simple. Light travels at a fixed speed through the universe, and it takes time to move from one place to another. So if the sun suddenly vanished right now, its last rays of light would still take 8 minutes to reach Earth. Let's understand this with an easier example. Imagine your friend is standing on Mars and waves at you from there. Even if you observe Mars through a telescope from Earth, you would see that wave almost 3 minutes later. That means when you look at Mars in the night sky, you are not seeing its live present. You are actually looking at its past from 3 minutes ago. Now here's an even more mind-blowing example. Imagine there is a planet located 6.6 million light-years away from Earth, inhabited by highly advanced aliens. If those aliens built an incredibly powerful telescope today and pointed it toward Earth, they would not see humans at all. Instead, they would see dinosaurs roaming across the planet, because Earth's light would take that long to reach them. Isn't that incredible? That means whenever we look at the shining stars in the night sky, we are not seeing their present, we are seeing their past. Some of those stars may have already died billions of years ago, but the light they emitted long ago is only reaching our eyes today, because light itself takes time to travel. In simple words, nobody truly knows what is happening at this exact moment in the distant corners of the universe. Everything you see in the sky is actually the past. Even the beautiful red sunset you watch every evening is not truly live. It is the sun from 8 minutes ago that you are seeing only now. So friends, how did you like this video? Make sure to tell us in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends so they can also learn these incredible facts. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, make sure to subscribe right now. And yes, don't forget to press the bell icon as well so you never miss the notification for our next video.